Hello and good morning. It's 2:14 a.m. What do you do when you can't sleep? You go into the sewing machine and you hang out. Well, this morning I've been sitting here at this sewing machine for about an hour, but I want to show you what I'm doing. I had gotten a mask. Cordula had made this mask for me. She sent me a square, and she also sent a mask. And this is basically the same kind of mask that I already make, but the way she made hers is she put two little darts under the chin here. So when you put this mask on with those two little darts, it holds it tight up against your chin. And for a mask to really do its job, it should fit tightly under your chin. It should fit. There shouldn't be any gaps in it on the sides, and there shouldn't be a gap here. Now I could add a little wire. I've got the wires that you put here that you strengthen it there. But when I go out, I wear my glasses, which holds that part down. And so I thought those two little darts right down here really make a big difference. So I started, this is the pattern. You can get that on the internet, and this is the pattern that I use. But so I made, well, for my son and my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter, I made her a little beady one for her Christmas, little that she can be wearing this week before Christmas. Gosh, it's almost Christmas, with little Sandy Clauses on them. And I have these kind of little bands to put on them, and I make them so that they're reversible. They can go either way. And so then I made one for her mama and her daddy, so they can all have their matching masks. So I did them. Then I made some here with the little, this one's got stars on one side and the snowman's on the other. And I didn't realize till after I cut it out that I had even part of a bias edge on there. I just sewed that right in there anyway. And so I'll wear that even with that. And then on the other side, it's got them stars on there. And I got a piece of thread on there. And then this one I made with, put the blue strings on it. And these strings are nice. They're not like the elastic. They're more of like a fabric elastic or something. And then they have these little beads on the end to where you can adjust the tightness behind your ears. So that one's stars on both sides. And then this one here is the little snowmen on both sides. And that one I put the little green ties on. And then this one, I like this one here. That's kind of cute with the sun and, the moons and the stars. And so I put the yellow strings on them. And so that will match. And then this one, of course, is unicorns. Have to have a unicorn. And so, but the way I make them, they're reversible, but I'm putting that little dart in there like I learned from Cordula, and I love that. I think that gives it such a better fit underneath your chin. And so I don't go out that much, but heck, I can't wear a mask 2 times in a row. Well, I guess I could. But anyway, so I'm gonna just kind of show, just for something different. I made a video yesterday, but it got corrupted. Whatever that means. I tried to upload it, but it was corrupt. And it wouldn't upload. It would upload 99% and then just stop. And then I dug around in the computer to find out what's going on, and it said that the file was corrupt. Can you imagine having a corrupt file? So that's okay. The one that I did, I'll show you later what I did on it in another video. But right now I'm just going to do my mask. So I'll show you here what I'm going to do right now. Just in case, I don't know. I'm sure everybody makes masks now. But I had these 12 by 12 squares that I've had for 100 years because at one time I was making hot heating pads out of these. And so I lined them with this, and then I had, and this was the size of the heating pad, and I just filled them with rice and flaxseed and lavender. That's what I filled them with. But that's when I was going to the craft fairs and stuff, and so it's one of them that you can heat up in a microwave. But so I have still got, digging through my fabrics, I found that I have a whole bunch of those 12 by 12 squares again still. So I figure what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mask. I can get, if I'm going to do this one with the this is a muslin, I'll use that on the inside and then the fabric on the outside, although they can go double-sided even, you know. I mean, you're double-sided. They can go reversible. So what the way I do mine is I let me see, yeah, is I put when you print these patterns out, they don't print out. They don't have the seam allowance on them, so you have to figure your own seam allowance. So, but what I do is I figured the size large is actually, I cut it a little bit smaller than the large, and but then I cut a little bit more here on this end, because that's where I'm going to turn it over and put the elastics in. So I'm going to just cut along the line, because then I do have a seam allowance for a medium size. And then we'll go right around like this. Okay, and then these go down there in my scrap bin. Now I can get another mask out of this piece. So out of two 12 by 12 inch squares, I'm going to get 2 masks. Okay, now this here I cut longer. This is cut longer than the actual pattern shows, and I usually leave that about a inch and a half longer. And so now what I'll do is I'm going to first take my my pieces, and I'm going to take that bottom edge. This is the point goes over the nose here. This point goes over the nose, and then this is the bottom edge. So I'm going to fold that bottom edge exactly in half, that straight length, and then I'm going to put a dart right here in the center, right in the center, but I'm only going to make the dart maybe 1/4 of an inch wide, and then maybe 3/4 of an inch long. If even that, you don't need much of a dart, just a little tiny bit, of that dart. Now, my gas pedal there. Okay, and so then, and I just kind of stitch and back stitch that. So then you've got that little bit of a dart in that bottom, just a little of that little tuck, not much at all. And so then we'll do the next one. Put that little bit of a dart in there. I just fold that straight piece right there. I just fold that in half. I looked at the one Cordula made with a magnifying glass. Well, actually, I used a magnifying glass. But I really liked how, and she sent that to me, and I really liked how that fit. And I said, wow, that is just that little bit of a dart really does make a difference. Okay, and so then here's the inside fabric. Usually I do them to where the inside and outside are the same, but sometimes I get spunky and I want to make them different. And since they're the same on both sides, the stitching, there's no inside and no outside, they're the same, then now that one's that one will go like that, so this one will go like this. So you can wear them either way. And this is an easier way. The way I do these now is a lot easier now and quicker. Gosh, I have made hundreds of masks. I've just made 100. Well, hundreds. I've made so many because I've made them for so many people. But anyway, okay, so now I've got my darts put in there, and I'm going to sew the two pieces together along the center line in the front of the mask. And now I'm only going to put a very, very scant seam allowance in there, you know, just enough to hold it together real good. And it's, gosh, it's probably even less than a quarter of an inch. Because I don't want a lot of bulk. I'll just make sure I got it caught good. And I don't want a lot of bulk in that when I turn it around then, see. Okay, and then I'll do the same with the front, with the opposite piece. And I'll stitch that together. It's been a wonderful day, you all. It's been just a glorious day today. I went to bed early, but then I woke up, you know, and when you wake up in the middle of the night, for me, it's not all that easy to go back to sleep. So I might as well do something to make me tired and then go back to sleep. Once you're retired, you know, you don't have to have a set schedule. Okay, now I'm going to sew together the front and the back. And so I'm going to make sure my seams right here in the centers are exactly right together. And I will give that a little seam up here. Going across the nose piece, curve it around, and make sure I back stitch a little bit. Make sure that seam stays good. And then I'm going to go again, make sure them two center, where the seams are in the center, make sure they match. Because see, now my one piece is a little bit wider here. My red piece is a little wider than the white. And so I want to match that middle. And so then that because it's not, because I don't do a perfect job. I'm not a seamstress. I just sew stuff. And so some people would have a stroke because it's not exactly, but this will be a mask. And then I'm going all the way across the bottom. There we go. Now, and I kept the seam allowance very thin. Although I am going to go ahead and cut just a little bit off of the, across the nose here, just so I don't have too much, just a little bit of that seam allowance off, so I don't have that bulk right there. Now I'm going to turn it right way. It's inside out, so I'm going to turn it the right way now. And then I'm going to press it. Make sure my iron is hot. And then I'll press it. I hope this here video doesn't go corrupt. I'm not going to make it too long, just to make sure that it doesn't corrupt. Whatever that is, I don't know. And so now I'm going to press it. But you know what I always do first is I kind of finger press the seam to where it's completely flat first, to make sure I don't have it like rolled under, you know. And so I'm going to do some more quilting. I don't know, once I do this I might go on back to bed, I don't know. But I want to do more quilt pieces. I did some beautiful ones. Well, I think all of them I do are beautiful. Okay, so see there now, I'm going to press that, and then I'm going to show you how I put the strings on. And okay, now I bought these strings. I got them on Amazon, and I don't know, I think there's 100 in here. 150 pieces, so that's enough for 75 masks. And in this package there was gray, red, yellow, blue, and green. And so and I went ahead, and the price wasn't that much, and I thought, well, that is nice. I went ahead and ordered them, that way I can color coordinate, you know. Okay, so now I have maybe I should put those up on my Amazon affiliate link too, so you can find them. But they got another package too that's got some darker colors. It's got black, and you can get just black and white or something. Okay, now what I'm going to do is see, then I got these two ends are open. The ear ends are open, so I'm just going to flip them in about a half an inch. Just turn them in about a half an inch. Just like that. Just turn them in about a half an inch, and then I'm going to press that with the hot iron. Believe me, I've got a hot iron over here. You got to take my word for it. I know you can't see it. And just turn it in, just like a cuff, and just in onto the inside, about a half an inch of fabric that you turn in. And get that string off of there. I know on my quilt pieces I let strings just hang all over the place, but these I don't want strings to hang all over the place. Another thing I'm going to be making is I'm going to be making adult bibs. Now, adult bibs, and I'll make some really pretty ones. If the adults are anything like me, you need an adult bib. But I got a pattern for some adult bibs, and I know when I worked in healthcare that I was the activity director, but I helped a lot in the dining room too. But some of those residents had the prettiest bibs that their family made them, and they insisted they had to have their bib on because they weren't going to spill their soup down their shirt. And so, and I bet 95% of the residents had beautiful bibs for, you know. And even on my pattern, there's one that you can make that almost looks like a tuxedo. I do want to make that one. Okay, so now I folded that in, that half an inch, and then I'm going to take this one end, because see, these have this little button slide thing on the string that you can slide it to make this tighter or looser. You can slide that. Now, I have seen where some are making that, like they'll put a pony bead back here and a pony bead right here on their elastic, and that works the same thing. But they put a pony bead back here so this pony bead doesn't fall off. So you can make these out of just elastic if you have little pony beads, because the band will elastic will fit through the pony bead. So I put the one end to the to the bottom of that little inward cuff I put there, and I'll pin that, and then put the other end onto at the top of the top of the mask, at the earpiece. You know, these are the earpieces, goes around your ear, and I stick about a half an inch down in there. And so, and because it's got that adjusting on it, you don't have to measure and make sure you have it right. And then we'll go on the other side and get that string off there. And then we'll put that on put that there, about a half an inch inside. Then I'll pin that on with a straight pin, and then take that other end and put it about a half an inch in, 3/4 of an inch. But now when I stitch this, I'm going to stitch it all the way around and top stitch. I'm going to top stitch all the way around, but when I get to where the when I get right here to where the band is, I'm going to double stitch it. I'm going to reverse and, you know, back stitch it a little bit, just to make it a little bit more tight. So there it is. So now all I have left to do is the top stitching, and I usually start somewhere in the middle. Let's scoop myself down here, and then I top stitch it with only about, and that's only like a scant 1/4 of an inch. Now I am on top of that, on top of that band, the earpiece. So I'm going to back up and go forward, and that gives it that little extra security, so that band won't come loose. And then I'm just top stitching, and now that just closed up that end. So that end now is closed up tight. Sometimes my feed dogs, I don't know, they just don't feed. They don't do the dog feeding like they should always. And that's okay. I can give it a little nudge with my stick. And I still love my sewing machine. It's got many years still to go. For some reason, when I go over a seam or something, it wants to hang up, but I don't know. I could probably change the feed dogs in there too. I don't know if that's it, but I bet it is. I have put new feed dogs in a sewing machine before. That's why I know it can be done. And there's nothing electronic about this sewing machine, so I can still work on this one. And then I will go again at this, and then little back stitch, make sure that's secure, and then go back where I started, right here. Then you always do a little back stitch just to secure your threads. I haven't been doing the back stitch on my quilt blocks because, see, there's no sense since I trim them, so I don't need to back stitch until I actually put the, where's that thread hiding at? There we go. So there it is. And see, I left that little piece a little bit longer there when I cut it. This is done. This is finished. And it's finished on both sides. So you could wear either side out. So you can make a double-sided mask. reversible. The way I was making them first, I was using just a round of elastic. Well, some of them I used a round of elastic and then turned this up and hand stitched it this way. And then I made some that I just had one long piece of elastic, and what I would do is I made like a pocket all the way, a tube all the way on both sides, and then I strung that elastic all the way through both sides, and then had the earpieces. And that worked pretty good too, because you can kind of bunch it up then where the where the where the elastic is, and kind of make it fit. But now this here pattern that you know, when Cordula sent me that one and I put it on and I said, wow, that just fits so nicely. Well, oh, there it is. Now see, she did hers this way too. Now this is how I've done some of mine, that just put the elastic in and then stitch a little casing around the elastic, and that works good too. But that's the first time I seen that little dart in there, and when I put it on and I saw how that fit, I loved how it fit. It just fit different. See, I think hers is going up a little higher here over the nose, and let's see if this one. Well, see, that still goes up plenty over my nose there. Now, see, and it feels a little loose here. So then, if I take my, and pull up the bead, pull up that bead, maybe I pulled up too much, and then put it back on. Now it fits tight. Now it fits tight. I also have the little metal things that you can put inside, and I have, and in those two are, you can even put them on later. You can put the strip on there and then put a piece of fabric over it. But sometimes when I was making them, putting the metal in, I put them in before I stitched it together, and then stitched it together, and then I would stitch under it to make like almost like a little casing. And so I still have more of them, but unless somebody asks me for them, I will probably not put them in. But you know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make a new pattern. Yeah, I think I will make a pattern using this. I'll cut me a new pattern, because I kind of, that one does fit. Actually, goes all the way up between my eyeglass, my nose. It fits perfect up there. So I do believe that I'm going to get me a piece of paper, and I'm going to just trace this and use this pattern, because it does have a little bit more up here, and it goes right up to the middle of the nose. And I believe by it going up there, I mean, it goes right to the bridge of your nose, and I think being up that far, it would less chance of your glasses fogging up. So yep, that's what I'm going to do. Isn't that cute with them unicorns on there? I just love them unicorns. So anyhow, so that's how I make my little mask. And yeah, I am going to get a piece of paper now. I'm going to trace that, because that is a bit, see how big of a difference that is. That's a difference. That's the difference in hers and in my pattern that I got off of the internet. I was kind of thinking when I first started that they were the same, but they're not. I got the same down here. That's the same width, the chin. But for up the nose, I'm going to change and use her pattern, because I think I like that one better. Although I've made all them, I can make some more. As you can see, they go fast. They go really fast. In my other video, I had this shirt on at the same time, but this here shirt, You see that? Right there, that's beans right there. See, that's why I need a bib. Was eating my mama beans and they went on my shirt. And so I just love to sew. Just love sew stuff together. I love glue stuff together. I love to sew stuff together. I love to do all of that. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So Cordula, if you're watching this, I'm gonna trace your pattern. I'm stealing your pattern. And so now, let me see. We have to read something. You know, I'm gonna read the same one I just read in my other. Which one did I read in the? No, I don't remember which one I read in the last video that got corrupt. I am a corrupt person. Okay. To you, I'm going to read. A little child shall lead them. God sent the little Christ child so man might understand that a little child shall lead them to that unknown promised land. For God in his great wisdom knew that men would rise to power and forget his holy precepts in their great triumphal hour. He knew that they would question and doubt the holy birth and turn their time and talents to pleasures of this earth. But every new discovery is an open avenue to more and greater mysteries, and man's search is never through. And man can never fathom the mysteries of the Lord, or understand his promise of a heavenly reward. And no one but the little child, with simple faith and love, can lead man's straying footsteps to higher realms above. And that's very nice. That is very nice. Thank you again, Erin, for this book. I do love it, and I use it. And thank you for watching as I put together my... Well, I didn't put this one together, did I? No, I know I put it. Oh, there it is. I put that one together, but yep, I am definitely going to work on readjusting this, because now when I put this one on that I just made, I can feel where I can a wire would probably, you know, to be able to bend it around your nose would probably be its advantage. But on this one, I don't feel that you need a wire, so I'm liking this one. So we're going to trace that one, and this is going to be my new pattern. So I ask God to watch over each and every one of you, each step you take, every move you make, and bring you back safe and sound to the next video. Those of you who are living up in the Northeast, oh my goodness, stay home, stay warm. I was just listening on the computer while I was sewing about all the blizzard that's up there, that's supposed to drop so much snow, and it's going to be, they're worried about, you know, downed power lines up there and everything with that snow. And so just know that I'm sending good vibes and I'm praying for your safety. Stay in, but let the kids go play in the snow. Yeah, they're going to love that. Okay, God bless you all. Bye-bye. And let's see if I can turn this off right here.